Twice.
No wire hangers.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I can't do this. Obviously, we're on Zoom, so that means that the editing / audio / visual
is not what our fans have come to expect from us at this point in our career.
Exactly. So, apologies in advance.
Hi, welcome to Glitter
and Grease, a show dedicated to describing, debating, dissecting, discussing, and ultimately determining quintessential Lady Gaga fashion moments.
We're not just talking garments. We're talking hair, body, face. Why did she do that? Shoes, styling, attitude, context, and cultural impact.
As lifelong superfans mutually obsessed with the art of dressing and the power that is Gaga, this is our duty. And baby, that's gossip.
Join us as we spew absolute nonsense about the woman who has changed our lives and brought us together.
I'm Tom.
And I'm Patrick. And this is Glitter
and Grease, episode 2, Metallic Moments.
I have a question for you. What Gaga moment are you today?
I'm gonna text you the photo.
Okay.
Delivered.
Would you care to tell me why?
Mama, this wig, this glass of wine, she's making a toast. Who are the people in this room? Why wasn't I invited? This photo, this is how I feel today. I am making a toast in a room full of people, disheveled, messy. And Patrick, what Gaga are you today?
You know what? I'll just give me 1 second.
She has to text it.
Oh, I found it. No, I didn't. Oh my God, where'd it go? It's downloading from iCloud. What? I just want to send the photo.
Oh my gosh, your photo. Okay, it came through. I love this. I love Gaga.
You know, I just I'm feeling despondent on Arabella, just like picking up my green juice. Just like on the side of the road in Malibu, just like trotting.
This is like the most visually discordant image I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's been the mood. That's been the mood from yeah, that's how I'm feeling. On a lighter note, we're talking metallic moments today.
Yes, metallic.
Metal, reflective, iridescent.
Metallic means metal-like. It's either of metal or resembling metal.
Word.
I'm like...
So Tom, what is your first look?
Thanks for asking. My first look is from November 10th, 2011. It's Lady Gaga in Wiesbaden, Germany at the Bambi Awards. This was the night that she won the Pop International Award, which essentially is this big award that's like anybody that's in media, you could be in sports, music, film, and you're just like amazing at it, period. So she won that. Karl Lagerfeld presented it to her. Shall we remember that? And she's wearing McQueen Spring Summer 2012 Lady Vase platforms. One of the reasons I love this look is because I feel like it's swallowing her. And there's something really satisfying texturally that it's so half and half, and that we get this like harder metallic shiny thing on the top, and then on the bottom we have this like soft flouncy more matte texture. And I know we've talked about this before, but like when she plays with texture, we love it. The makeup is so bizarre. It's like not my fave, but she wore this throughout the night, I'm pretty sure. It's like she knew, I think it's one of those honorary awards where she knew she was getting it, so I feel like she dressed for what the award looks like, and I really appreciate that. It's this like kind of slender statuette. It's obviously a statue, it's statuesque.
Statuesque.
And she is just giving pose, and she's golden. And I think my favorite thing is that the headpiece kind of just doesn't fit completely right in this way that is so
very editorial.
And we've seen head coverings and things before, but in this, it's like her eyebrows, it's like you can only see just like half of her eye. And I love it. And I'm gonna tell you what my favorite part about this look is. I'm gonna send you a photo of it because it's a detail that I think is fascinating. A fascinating choice by the House of Gaga. The hair. She has a little bitty little baby coming out of the back of her head.
I have a feeling that they didn't have a hell of a lot of time between performance and this photo, and I do know she had the little fascinator. She had her hair in that little bun.
For the show. That's the bang she was wearing the whole night before. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that's what it is. It's like at the awards show and the performance, she has like this little bang piece and it's shaped exactly the same way.
Yeah.
So they said, go. I'm like, they could have just left her head wrapped. But regardless.
What a beautiful look.
Yes, I agree. I think it's something that not a lot of people, mainstream, like non-fans know about, because this was in Germany and like...
People who are well.
Yeah. People who are well, emotionally doing well, would not be watching a video that's dubbed in German from 2011 of this. So Patrick.
Yeah.
What is your first look?
So, my first look is April 16th, 2009, Friday Night with Jonathan Ross. She is wearing quite the iconic number from Dolce & Gabbana, Spring Summer 2007, New Sexy Glam. This very, very well-known storied piece right here, metal leather corset situation. And the shoe is Pump by Ruthie Davis in the color Pop, which is like this really cool, like lucite shoe with like really, really bright electric accents, like electric yellow accents. And then the watch is George Jensen, the Viviana. The reason why I love this look is the performance that accompanies this look is absolutely bonkers in the best way possible. And early in her career where people are like, oh, like I remember watching this and the accompanying interview and just being like, oh yeah, no, like she's around, she's gonna be around. I think the way that she like handles herself and the questions and like the way that she's like so tongue-in-cheek and like in on the joke and like how she handles the whole like, so tell me about your genitals and like all these like silly, ridiculous, stupid things. And she's like so young and she has like this like punk rock vibe in the interview and it like translates in the performance with the way she like is like and like doing all these like crazy like theater kid vocals and like the smoky eye and the bang and the bob, and she's like giving it her all, even though it's 2009 and she hasn't quite figured out her dancing body yet, which is like totally fine and I live for. It's just like, it's like Club Gaga.
Yeah.
She like brought that, which we later see in her career, this kind of like, I've played the small rooms, like I know that vibe. Like I wouldn't be where I am if I wasn't that girl.
Right. And I love that she's like out there with her watch on. They said, put it, go. She said, what time is it?
Right. No, they literally like came from the club. It's like her and her dancers. They like literally got there from like GIY. Yeah, it's just like punk rock, high fashion, iconic. It's like a Gaga look that people know because of the paparazzi video.
Hate to say it, it's sexy as
Oh, she looks incredible.
Yes.
And it's like, she's
so
like, and she does a thing that I absolutely love where she's like, yeah, I'm hot, but like, I'm also like tough.
I'm like disgusting, but hot. Like,
right.
An attitude.
Like, I'm still freaky. Like, I can be hot, but I'm still that girl.
Yeah, exactly that. I can tell you one thing, it's metallic.
It's metallic. That's metallic.
And that's metallic.
Do you have another look by chance?
You know, I had one up my sleeve for you, and I just sent it your way. This is New Year's Eve in 2011, so going into 2012. She's headed to Times Square for rehearsal for her performance earlier in the day. She's wearing a 1996 Chanel fall-winter suit, as well as sunglasses, belt, bag. She has the classic Chanel Mademoiselle bag, and then she's wearing the daffodil Louboutin pumps in gold. So I think something that I love about this look, it's kind of what we touched on before, but there is this like label whore, like vintage aesthetic happening, but there's so many things going on as she's like walking from where she's staying to the car that are so iconic, which is like this messy bang, these sunglasses that look like she just got like LASIK eye surgery, you know, from that time period, this huge gold headband thing, and then the suit itself. And I'm not insulting the suit because I think it's gorgeous in its own way, but like it ages her. So like I talked before about like this like label whore aesthetic that was very like sex shop, but this is very like I'm an ambassador for like a foreign embassy in like outer space. Like she's giving me this like I'm from some European country you've never heard of. And
what I love about this is that it shows that she cares about fashion, and the people that she keeps around her care about fashion, and they consider these things that we're talking about.
And if you know me, I value ponytail Gaga above all other Gaga.
Right.
Like I love a ponytail.
In any state, in like a styled pony, in like a messy pony.
I'm like pony. I love everyone in a pony. Pony Ga. She just a side pony at that, honey. Yeah, it's interesting. It just like photographs in this way that does almost read as like the kind of quirky stepmother of the bride. Like, you know,
who's like trying to sell you Mary Kay at the reception.
Exactly, that's what's in that bag.
And I mean, look at where we are now. The last thing the world needs is another beauty brand.
But yes, it's metallic, it's metal-like.
Right.
Bejeweled. I think that means that I have a question for you, which is, do you have another look for me?
I do.
And I'm gonna reapply gloss while we're at it. Gloss.
All right, so I just sent you an image.
I love
image
it.
Received?
Image received. I approve and go on.
Okay. It's July 28th, 2014, and we are at Cheek to Cheek Live at Lincoln Center. Jazz at Lincoln Center. Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett are, I'd say, approximately halfway through the Cheek to Cheek Live show.
Okay.
Gaga emerges to perform Lush Life, which we know when Press Tour Gaga was doing her whole cheek to cheek thing, Lush Life was like, she was like, I remember the first time I sang this song as a 13-year-old, and I didn't fully understand the emotional weight of the lyrics, but now the song it's my life, and to a certain extent it is lyrically it does align with this kind of narrative that we saw of like, I don't know, I think arguably for the general public that weren't really paying attention to Gaga, it was like, oh, that art pop is kind of strange, and now she's doing cheek to cheek. It was kind of this like redemption arc. So I feel like it fits that narrative of like being down and out. And it's just like a really iconic Torch song.
Yes.
And she looks like a Torch song, like lounge singer to the umpteenth bazillion campy ridiculous degree. This wig is absolutely bonkers. Her Italian curls, the obvious Cher reference, and she also performs Bang Bang the same evening. But the dress is Roberto Cavalli. It's custom, but it's based off of Fall Winter 2005. It's metallic starburst lame mermaid gown with like a bell sleeve that's absolutely incredible when she's performing, and the way that this whole special is shot. The lighting is really, really well done. And the shoe is Blade, a favorite shoe of hers by Cassidy, I believe. And no jewelry, which I love because throughout the entirety of the performance, she has like all different amazing moments that are like vintage tiaras and handmade things and like tons of costume jewelry. And I just think that the way that she like knocks it out of the park in the way that is so Gaga for like people that are like sticklers for music. They're like, oh, it was so schmaltzy and campy and bleh. And it's like, yeah, that's the point. It's like, she's Lady Gaga. Like, what the man?
Yeah,
like,
it's like all forms of music are drama.
Right,
so
and it's like she's that theater girl. She's playing the jazz singer. The authenticity. Well, I mean, she cries when she finishes the song.
Yeah, and it's weird because this was the time when it was like, Gaga isn't crazy anymore. Like the first time people started saying that.
Well,
like,
yeah, people are like, Gaga isn't crazy anymore. And then Exhibit A, this.
Like people were just like, oh, because she's just wearing a dress and not crazy. Like we can see her face in a different way. And I'm like, she's wearing a literal like bush on her head. Like a gorgeous bush.
Stunning.
And the dress is gorgeous, but it's just like, she is still playing a part because that's all she knows. Right. Wake up, America.
She's going through something, okay? But Tony gets it.
Tony just looks at her and he's like...
Tony's like...
He's just like... He smiles through it, baby.
He says, Lady.
Honestly, iconic friendship in her life.
Honestly, formative.
I say it to you, Tony.
Tony Bennett, deep friend of...
Tony Bennett, by the way.
Tony Bennett, deep friend of the channel. Shout out to Tony Bennett, Tony Bennett Hive. So, something tells me that you might have another look.
I do. I do.
Your look is incredible.
Thank you. I know. I'm just gonna say that this is from the Enigma Vegas show, her residency in Vegas, obviously postponed because of COVID. The first date of the Enigma show was 12/28/18, December 28th,
wow.
2018. Can you hear me? You can't hear me? Then how are you shaking your head?
Oh, you're moving now.
I took my phone off the Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, hopefully this works. Do I look clear to you?
Yes, you look beautiful. Are you wearing house slabs?
I am. Just like wave your hands frantically if you can't hear me. This is a Tom Ford custom cat suit inspired by his Spring/Summer 2014 collection. She's wearing Andre No. 1 boots and a heart hat, matching hat by Lara Jensen. So she wore this for the first part of Enigma, and I was lucky enough to see it in person. It was gorgeous, dazzling, and everything. She performs Just Dance, Poker Face, and Love Game in this look. And of course, she comes down from like the ceiling on wires. She's like kind of paying homage to her early career in this like bigger way than I noticed. Like I was like, oh yeah, like the disco ball. I've seen so much Gaga that I was just like, oh, like this catsuit is sickening, it's so Gaga, and I didn't really connect that at first. And so I love that the show is full of songs from the Fame, and she's kind of paying homage to it, but it's like post A Star Is Born and like career refinement disco girl. This is the concept from my perspective. Obviously the Enigma like persona during the Vegas show says something like, I want your cell phones out the entire time during this show, which is nothing you ever hear at a concert. It's always like, put your cell phones down. And she comes out wearing hundreds of tiny mirrors. And it's exactly what we've talked about. She's saying, look at yourselves, look at me and see yourselves. And it's so powerful and beautiful in that way. She's shining and glistening. You can't even see her face. You just hear this bizarre, again, you can't really see her because these lights are hitting her.
As a postmodern disco ball.
Yes. And she's just glistening and you hear this electronic music and you know it's Gaga, and she's kind of wearing this glow in the dark lip. And where I was sitting in the venue, I was like, she's right there. It's just also gorgeous, well-made. Everybody does a cat suit now, but this is so her and so perfect for this show and the concept and the color palette. And
can we talk about how chaotic the images are of her, like red carpet, like woman in distress? Yeah, and she's like, I'm wearing all new House Labs products that no one knows about, like so jazzed.
Yeah, she's like definitely being a little like, I'm gonna be weird. Anyway, I think this embodies the metallic theme in a different kind of way.
Right.
And I think I chose 3 looks that did that very well. One was like fabric, one was
okay, go
metal,
off.
And the first one was more of like an applique.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, now that I've spoken at length about that, I would like to know, Patrick, do you have a third look for me?
I do. I do have a third look for you.
I'm like, page it, email it, sext
Right.
it, text it.
This is November 24th, 2014, the Art Rave Paris after party. So Art Rave Paris, the last date of the Art Rave, looked truly wild, honestly. This look is a garment by Jack Irving, who is a Central St. Martin's grad from that year. And this is actually from his graduate collection, which is named Enigma, which we love. The way that he described it is that it's like an inflatable life jacket with a network of spines inspired by like some sort of like sea urchin sea creature. The shoe is actually the same shoe that she's wearing from Cheek to Cheek Live, but just in this like blood orange, and then she's wearing a sapphire earring by Eric Beeman. What I love about this look is that it's like a performance on the sidewalk. She is like getting out of a vehicle and she's just kind of standing there, and you see the shuddering of the paparazzi, and again it's this reflective holographic thing, and then she inflates and she just like gets suffocated by this thing and like her tiny little head, and she's like doing like performance art on the sidewalk. Gaga. Art pop is coming to an end, but I'm still that girl. I also have my little like black hair because I've been doing Cheek to Cheek promo on the weekends, and like I'm double booked, but it's just so like classic Gaga, and like, you know, she was like, I have to do this, like this is a send off. And the fact that she like does that and then like has to like walk into this nightclub, and then she like changes into this like little skimpy number that's actually from the same collection. The styling too, the dark lip and the black hair, and
Yes.
like I love when she has that whole like serious like performance artist, like take
Like,
me
I'm
seriously
kooky,
as I'm
kooky.
like a giant sea urchin going to a nightclub. I also just think too, like the cognitive dissonance of like this time of like this in between art pop Cheek to Cheek, her mental stability is like
Yeah.
questionable.
Yeah, I mean, it's like pretty legit when she talks about like,
That period of time being very dark.
Yeah. and just like any transition between kind of like sounds or albums or eras, as fans call them. It's like,
Right.
she always says like it's a real reflection of like what she's going through.
Right.
Often. So if you think about any two albums back to back, those two are the most dissonant.
I'm like, to be in the limo with her or whatever vehicle, like the Cadillac with her, and like sitting there and being like, I can't fuck this up. Like I have to plug in the dress.
Where like, we don't need behind the scenes of a music video. We need behind the scenes of like this.
The car ride. Yeah.
We're crazy girls.
So, Tom, I'm so excited. We have our very first special guest feature.
We do?
The Chicago-based DJ who made the fantastic track that is playing currently.
El Brujo, who I have worked with in the past, and I adore and admire, and is such a cutie. So what he's going to do is tell us about his favorite or most impactful or most memorable Lady Gaga fashion moment.
Let's hear what he has to say.
Here we go.
Hello, hello, hello. My name is El Brujo. Pronouns he, him, they, them. And I'm here to talk about my most memorable Lady Gaga look here on Glitter and Grease. So the look that I chose today, the one that really just sits in my mind consistently, is back in 2014 for the Art Pop Ball when she landed in Aspen. It wasn't really a huge look, as you can see somewhere around here. It was really something that impacted me just for the fact that I love the theatrics of it all. It was really something that really stood out for me because as a performer, as an entertainer, as someone who loves visually pleasing performances, her arriving and her coming off that airplane was more of a performance than a lot of her performances, no tea. It was just a beautiful look. Her just coming out bronze, beautiful platinum hair, just her sitting, And those beautiful, beautiful shells, having her dancers come out before her, having them dance, having them introduce her landing into this new country, making her presence known to the media, to everyone around her, to her fans. It was just such a beautiful thing to look back at, especially knowing how traumatic the art pop era was for her and a lot of the Little Monsters. The look was a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. The presentation, the visuals, the dancers, the entrance. I mean, come on. It doesn't get better than that. And that for me is the most memorable Gaga look. This has been El Brujo here on Glitter in Grease. You can follow me on Instagram at elbrujo333. You can follow my collaborative project with Miss Twink USA and my beautiful boyfriend D. David Davis at weireinthemiddle.com and Instagram We're in the Middle.
Absolutely amazing, and also a metallic moment, might I add.
Yes. Not to mention, you look incredible.
Right. Oh my God.
I'm like, we are in rags.
I know. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, is this metallic?
So let me give some specs to the look. This is September 2014 at the Athens airport. Gaga just landed. She's wearing Perry Meek shells on her chest.
Ah, Perry.
Perry. Pleaser heels. And the skirt is Spring Summer 2014 by a Turkish designer. So I'm gonna pronounce this incorrectly. Zeynep Tosun.
Okay, word. I love that she's like, oh, Greece? Oh, Venus. Oh, yeah. No, we have to like make this a bit.
Yes. And it's kind of like the inflatable look that you just talked about, where it's like, this is like a moment in another way than it's just that's why we say fashion moment.
Because the thing is people wait to see her because they know that it's going to be worth it. And this is what she does as a love letter to those people that she knows are waiting to see her.
We're loving that this is your look. Again, this is a moment. We're glad that you didn't choose just like a look. This is a moment in time. She's giving us performance. She's giving us look. She's like giving us body. She's giving us, guess what? I'm in Greece.
She's like, oh, you're Greek people. You love this. Like her understanding of, as a global citizen is sometimes just like so art school.
Yeah, totally. And she's like, I'm Italian. We're just across.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just a hop, skip, and a jump.
We're
yeah. Right. Tom, I think that brings us to the end of this episode of Glitter in Grease.
I think it does as well. I've enjoyed speaking with you, though I miss being in person with you.
I miss being in person with you as well.
Yeah, it does. It just, the spark is different when we can just yell at each other.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Glitter
and Grease, episode 2, Metallic Moments.
Till next time.
We'll see you around, divas.
Pause up.
Oh my God.
I'll catch you at the grocery store grabbing your Chromatica Oreos.
That too.
All right.
Peace.